Hello, everyone, and welcome to the series finale here of the CWA, the Canadian Wrestling Alliance series here on the channel, as our first ever TEW 2020 series is coming to an end here on episode 55 of the CWA series, the Royal Draft series, as our Cold Fury show. The perfect ending, I think, for this series is right here on this show, and I just feel like it's time. I feel like we've done all we can out of this. I think as far as this series went through a lot. The first part of really about the first month or so into the save, the speaking out movement happened, which just showed the terrible light of the wrestling world. And throughout all of COVID, basically this series lasted through, and of course the untimely passing of Brody Lee. So a goddamn shame. A lot of bad has came from this series, and I think it's going to be best now to end it on at least a high note. At least a note that I feel like is best suited for this series to end it on. As we do have a good bit of matches going through this series. We're going to have, for this series finale, Roman Takahashi and Bryan Danielson. That's a awesome dream match. It's coming to life here on this TW series, and Pac and Brody Lee main event, unifying the belts to end out the series as the Canadian Heavyweight Championship and the British Commonwealth Championship. We also have Kenny Omega and Adam Cole, Claudio Castagnoli, Chris Hero again, and Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks. Blood Generation, Shima and Naruki Doi, Kevin Steen and Sami Zayn, and John Miz and the Morris, alright, John Morris and the Miz, fucking dyslexia, popping up at the wrong time, taking on the Young Bucks, obviously now. Miz and Morrison being a part of the fucking zombie things that happened at the WrestleMania Backlash show. Just another terrible thing that's going on in the wrestling world. And we also have Dark Order and No Mercy match happening on the pre-show. I'm trying to think what else is actually. Roger Strong and Ray Phoenix open up the show, which that should be a hell of a matchup. That might be one of the best matches on the show. So that's a great way to open up the show. Not a whole lot of angles happening on this show, just because this is a series finale, and then they get on a lot of are looking for the best show that we could possibly do. I think we can do it. We'll see what happens, though, on this show, as we'll start it and see what's going on as far as this 8-man tag, the Dark Order No Mercy matchup. Gets a 55. Katsuhiko Nakajima with a 59. Brock Lesnar with a 63. Tommy M with a 56. And Kenta with a 52 as Brock Lesnar pinning Tomohiro Ishii with an F5 in 8 minutes. Yeah, Tomohiro Ishii and Brock Lesnar would be hilariously awesome. As far as Katsuhiko Nakajima almost in the 60s is just awesome. But it's where Brock was a big part of this series for the early part of it. Then kind of halfway through, his ratings started to go down, and we kind of started using him less and less. But not a bad pre-show matchup. As our next pre-show matchup, man making his debut, Shingo Takagi, the fucking dragon Shingo Takagi, taking on Kota Ibushi. What a match this is, as it's a 67. While the Shingo, they have great chemistry, but also Shingo's debut is awful as a foreign star gimmick, but he has a 71. His pop is actually really good. He'll probably debut, as far as like the main show, if this was to go on, he probably would have took on Bryan Danielson, been the one to beat Bryan for the International Openweight title, just to really elevate him and get the belt off Bryan too. But 71 in his debut is not bad at all. That's a hell of a debut. As him and Roderick Strong would have had awesome matches too. Like, he would have been a great part of the CWA. It's our Cold Fury intro. As opener 76, Roderick Strong, Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix getting the win, as Roderick Strong was the man who beat Ray Phoenix to stop his GWC International Openweight title reign. As Ray Phoenix getting the win here in 1533 rather, avenging that loss, getting the win with the Meteora as well, 76-75. Lack of psychology on display here in this opener, but got the crowd hotter. Not a bad way to open up the show at all. The next match, tag match, gets a 67. John Morrison really bringing this one down. He was off his game, as Nick Jackson pinning John Morrison. The Meltzer driver in 16-20. Yeah, not a bad match at all. As the Young Bucks trying to bounce back into the title picture, thanks to Adam Cole. Not really thanks to Adam Cole, but thanks to Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was Adam Cole. So weirdly enough, that even though the swerve happened with Adam Cole later on joining the Young Bucks, he did cost them the tag titles. So it's just kind of an odd way of going about it. As the Chris Hero Claudio Castagnoli matchup gets a 60. It's Claudio getting the win and hopefully putting that chapter to end of his debut here in the CWA, putting that behind him and going on to bigger and better things after this. Getting the one with the neutralizer in 12:57. So I got a 60. Wow, a 70 here. I was a little nervous about this matchup, but Adam Cole, well, rightfully so, even too, getting the win with the last shot. Interesting. As the Young Bucks do get the interference on Kenny Omega, but Kota Ibushi came in to make the save and also take out Adam Cole. A whole lot of interference going on, but at the end it was Adam Cole picking up the win. And I mean, yeah, got the crowd buzzing as well. Not a bad match at all. Still, nothing has beaten the opener. As the tag team title matchup, Kevin Steen and Sami Zayn defending their championships against Blood Generation in 13:38. As Sami Zayn pinning Sheen with the Brainbuster. So yeah, Kevin Steen with 75, Sami Zayn with a 66. As I mean, they were a big part of the CWA throughout the whole entire journey from the beginning through the turn on the first ever show, having that little feud for the championship, and then going on to now ending out the series as tag champions. The whole story arc of those two was great to book. Whole lot of fun. As there we go, we got something that beats the openers. Bryan Danielson making his first defense of the GWC International Openweight title as he beats Hiromu Takahashi in 17:59 with the running knee strike. What a great performance from Bryan there as he gets an 81 and a 66 from Hiromu Takahashi. Great little match. Would love to see that. IRL as Charlotte Flair is the one to defeat the boss, Sasha Banks, as she gets the win with the figure 8 leg lock in 18 minutes. She outperforms her too, as the boss's biggest threat yet has been met. This Charlotte Flair, the queen of the CWA now, as that's a 73. It's our little post-match promo, telling the fans to bow down to the new queen of the CWA, Charlotte Flair. Feeling very good about her championship win. So that gets interrupted though by Trish Stratus, the returning Trish Stratus. They have a stare down as she interrupts her promo. Coming out, it gets a big pop, hitting her entrance. And it makes sense to have Trish and Charlotte for a championship matchup to end out the year of 2021 here. I think that's a great first contender for Charlotte post Sasha. I think that's a great way to get Trish not only back in the title picture, but also giving a great opportunity for the women's championship to have like a big time matchup as far as if this series was to keep going. And also too, those great segments as well. This has really been a great little show. Now on to the main event. To unify the championship. And what better way to unify with the big rig himself, the big effing rig, Brody Lee, ending out the series, his double champion, hitting the discus lariat on Pac for the 1-2-3 as that gets a 72. It's actually not even the best match on the card. Not even the second best matchup on the card. It kind of shows you the talent we had at the end as a 72 to end out the series. I mean, our worst thing was a 60. And that's not bad at all. We'll gladly take that. As, that's the last ever show for the CWA. Rest in peace, the big effing rig, Brody Lee. What I figured this was the best way to end out the series. With him on top, reigning Canadian Heavyweight Champion and the CWA British Commonwealth Champion. As for what's next here for the channel, what's going to be going on with TEW on the channel here now that we've lost the series? Is something gonna take its place? I'm not really sure exactly what's gonna take its place, as last year around this time, this basically around this time a year ago, basically today, we had a poll to determine what's going to be, just the fan voted series, and that was first of all, it was won by the randomizer. Then the randomizer had the Summer of Punk mod, which that mod still has not been out yet for TW, or even the other game that's being worked on. So that's there is that going on. We're still waiting for that. There is the Pipe Bomb mod, which is the same year basically, but I'm not sure if I want to do that series with that, or actually keep it to where the poll, keep the legitimacy of that poll and do the Summer of Punk. It's tough. It's tough to decide. But I'm sure something will come up on, as far as what would have happened with this series as far as the championships and whatnot. We probably would have vacated the British Commonwealth Championship, had a tournament to crown the new champion. I think we probably had Brody defend the championship, double champions, have him take on maybe Brian, maybe have him and Brian as the main event of the next event, or somebody else, maybe Claudio. Not really sure exactly who he would have taken, who his first defense would have been. If it was going to be Claudio or Brian, or maybe even Adam Cole or somebody else. But definitely he would have vacated the championship to end out to begin the new year, rather, 2022, as Pac would have probably won it, as that's kind of a funny way of having Pac. He won the British Commonwealth Championship to begin with, and then have it do it again and have him win the same thing again. It probably would have been an interesting way of ending out or beginning out the new British Commonwealth era, and having Pac be the champion again. Probably been a little deja vu, but I felt like that probably been the best way of going about it. But yeah, there's a lot of different things we could do, but I'm still not exactly sure on what I want to do. There's a lot of different variables to go through. We got a lot of things cooking it for the channel. I'm sure we'll figure something.
I left the wrestling business December 4th, 2006. I have not done one convention. I have not done one appearance. I've not done one cameo. And I have no plans on going back into the wrestling business, and I have no desire to go back into the wrestling business. But if I don't spend another day of my life in the pro wrestling business, I've had my fill.
Let's just address it right now.
Okay.
Why haven't you accepted this job? Because they are offering you
They're not ready for me.
What do you mean?
They're not ready. You're going to have to fight for every inch of turf that you get. The ECW guys are all 40 or better. And God bless them. And thank them all for all they contributed to my life. But they're in their 40s. Now, can you imagine the investment in the future